Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody the Coin Raptor. Welcome to my channel. I am here to bring you the best crypto content that I can. And just like the other times, we're going to start with Bitcoin. All right, so the Bitcoin chart is way different than it was yesterday. We look at one day, things can change very drastically. In fact, we had a very strong bounce off of support here, and then it continued to rally throughout the whole weekend here. And now, recording this on a Monday, now it looks like it's had a fairly strong recovery, blasting through multiple levels of resistance, and now it's hit its head on this 21,000 level. This is psychological support right here at about 21,000. I would expect that maybe for the short term that this resistance is going to hold unless we see some very strong volume come in and push it above. I think personally that what we have right here is a dead cat bounce, which is a bounce in assets that happens after a major correction. And we had a major correction, and we had a major drop down of the price. And in fact, it came down and it hit a new low here at 17,500. So I think what's happening here is that short sellers are covering. There's probably some opportunistic buying happening here as well. And I think that this is all going to ride entirely on what happens tomorrow in the markets. When the markets open up and the Nasdaq opens, the Nasdaq again, if it's red, it's going to take out some levels of resistance. I think that the broad background that we have right here is extremely bearish, and that this right here is, for the most part, it's unsustainable. I haven't seen any sign of a complete reversal yet, from a bear market to a bull market yet, but what that would look like, in my opinion, is it would look like a situation where you have multiple green days. Again, multiple, probably, around 5 or so green days in a row, or some strong volume coming in here, and you can see a ton of buyers show up and hopefully have an uptrending pattern. We'll see a strong reversal. And if I see something like that, I'll make sure I let you guys know. Just make sure you follow me on Twitter. I'll give you the most up-to-date information that I can. But right now, I don't see any sort of reversal at all in Bitcoin right now. And right now, I personally am not buying. I'm waiting for it all to shake out right now and see where this winds up going, because right now there's just so much uncertainty, and I'm waiting for a clearer signal right now. But again, I don't think this uptrend is going to last for very much longer. Now we take a look at Ethereum. Same kind of story with Ethereum. It also had this very strong bounce. You can see in the hourly, it had a stronger bounce even than Bitcoin did, because it came up and it almost touched this 879 level for just a brief amount of time, and then shot all the way back up, breaking multiple resistance levels. I had all these resistance levels lined up. It broke through all of them. I'm gonna get rid of them here, and now the new resistance level for ETH is going to be at this level, which is about 1170, so 1170 in this area right here. So just like with Bitcoin, I don't think that this right here is the end of the bear market. I don't think that this is the bottom just yet. But if there was a start of the end of the bear market, it would look like a strong uptrend for sure. I just think that the macroeconomic picture and increasing interest rates and increasing fear in the market right now is driving a lot of selling, and I don't think that's going to change for a little while. One thing I wanted to point out here is that Ethereum has had massive selling volume come in, and just the last week or so. You can see these red candles for volume are just enormous. Whereas you take a look at the buying candles, right? These green candles, and they're honestly not that big. You'd think that if we're looking for a trend reversal, we would see a huge green candle print and then huge green volume candle print, and then we'd see it show up on the chart price. So one example I want to show you is come back here. We take a look at around July 2021, and you can see when I zoom in here that we've had this is a reversal sign right here. Again, multiple days of green volume of buyers stepping in here, and this signifies the end of this downtrend. And I haven't seen anything yet like this, where you have several days in a row, almost more than an entire week of just buyers stepping in here and sellers getting crushed. So I haven't seen that happen yet. We'll see. I'll be monitoring everything. Like I said, just check me out on Twitter, and I will get you the most up-to-date information. I'm not buying Ethereum right now. I am just hodling, and I'm waiting for things to shake out. All right, so let's talk about news. Go to the news segment of our show here. And first thing I want to talk about is Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor, if you follow Michael Saylor at all, he's been pretty adamant about getting governments to regulate crypto. And he's a Bitcoin whale, okay? He's probably the biggest Bitcoin whale who's a public figure. And he maintains the position that if the government comes in and the government regulates crypto, it will increase Bitcoin adoption. And so his major issue here is that he argues that there are 19,000 cryptocurrencies and digital tokens in circulation, and they are viewed as unregistered securities. Okay, Michael Saylor believes that Bitcoin is a property, whereas these other cryptocurrencies are just unregistered securities. And being unregistered securities, they're also not subject to any sort of regulation. And so he wants to see regulation in the space to increase institutional adoption. That's what that's the whole point here. He wants the government to regulate Bitcoin. That way companies and investors can come in and they can buy Bitcoin and put it on their balance sheets. Okay? And this is something that he's been very consistent in saying. All right. So this leading crypto lending app, it's called Solend. It's built on the Solana blockchain. Okay. It is governed by its own users. Okay. And they've decided that they would, the users who have the most Solana that's staked on this Solend platform, they decided that they were going to try and take control of one of its largest account. They call them whales, right? So the larger accounts are called whales, and they were trying to take control of this largest account, and they were trying to prevent a liquidation, because the price of Solana was cratering. And if the price of Solana cratered to a certain point, they would risk a margin call, and that margin call would have a massively negative effect on the Solana price and on the Solana blockchain. So basically what happened is these whales got together and they voted to take control of this other whale account and prevent it from having this margin call and liquidating its assets, which is basically against the whole point of having a decentralized finance protocol, when you can just have the other people that have more money than you come in and just tell you basically what you can and can't do with your money. So, and again, this is Solend. This is not the Solana blockchain, though it is on the Solana blockchain. Solend is a DeFi app on the Solana blockchain. So this was not a very good look for these whales who wanted to take control of that account. And so what happened was they passed another vote that would invalidate that proposal they passed. Okay? So they invalidated the other proposal, and now they increased this governance voting time to 1 day, because previously it was much shorter than 1 day. So they came dangerously close to seizing to taking control of the assets of one of the top whales in this DeFi app. And that's honestly kind of dangerous, because if you have a decentralized finance platform, you'd expect that you wouldn't have other users come in and try to tell you what you can and can't do with your money. So that's something, again, this I'll be following this story as we get more information. But to me personally, I think that if you're on Solend, that would make me very concerned. But again, Solend is different than the Solana blockchain itself. Solana, the Solana Foundation had nothing to do with this, as far as I know. Okay. And then, as a follow up to one of the other stories that we talked about, Babel Finance reaches debt agreement with counterparties after withdrawal freeze. So we talked about Babel Finance and their withdrawal freeze following other companies like Celsius that prevented users from withdrawing any money from their platform. So it seems like now Babel Finance has shored up funding to prevent a liquidation of their funds. And so what this means is that they're more solvent than they were before. Following an emergency assessment of operations, the company said that short-term liquidity pressures have eased, and that also coincides with the increase that we've seen for crypto, that bounce back that we saw on the charts. So when you see a bounce back like that, it also really eases a lot of the pressures of these finance companies and these venture funds. So if I see any more information about this, I'll let you guys know. Okay, if there's any other stories you guys want me to cover or any information you want me to cover, please let me know. This is Cody the Coin Raptor signing out.